Уехали.
According to local media, the fire covered an area of 1,500 square meters. The roof collapsed on 400 square meters. The representative of the Ukrainian Volunteer Army South, Serhiy Bratchuk, writes that the plant's products are also used in the production of components for drones. The cause of the fire remains unknown. Local residents have been advised to keep windows closed, drink plenty of water, rinse their eyes, nose, and throat, and only go outside wearing masks or respirators. Russian emergency services have also reported one injury. 50 Shades of Grey, Russian style. Recruited Russian prisoners from the Storm Z unit looted the bodies of other recruited Russian prisoners from the PMC Wagner. Russian prisoners recruited into the army are beaten for looting the bodies of their dead comrades, even though it is a common practice in the Russian army. Cruelty within Russian military ranks has been reported extensively, particularly since the escalation of the Ukraine conflict. Many accounts highlight abusive practices by commanders, including the use of brutal punishments such as beatings and threats of execution for non-compliance. Soldiers have described being forced into relentless assaults without proper support, often facing heavy losses. A Russian paratrooper, VDV, has been captured in Kursk. He signed a contract because he could not find a suitable job. Though he has more training than the usual Mobiks, Ukrainians report that the quality of Russian troops went downhill as shortage of soldiers increases.
I am Lenin Dmitrievich, June the 28th, 98. I serve in the 83rd 1st Assault Brigade. I ask you to exchange me for Flenova Azov Steel. So, I'll tell you the story. He's a paratrooper with 4 children, enlisted from Bashkiria, wanted to get $1 million for his first contract. There were 20 of them, and now he is the only one left. It was lucky. He will go for an exchange and come back alive, whole and healthy.
Ukrainian military personnel from the National Guard and the 92nd Assault Brigade repel a Russian offensive in the Kharkiv region. The press service of the Kharkiv Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine reported this. The assault was fought off by the Kharkiv Brigade and the 92nd Separate Assault Brigade in the Kharkiv sector, where the enemy tried to seize the positions of the defense forces. Before the direct offensive, a drone detected the enemy in time to prepare for a defensive battle. The enemy engaged BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles equipped with anti-drone protection, which were supposed to support the Russian infantry with fire through the use of a 30mm gun and a 100mm rocket launcher. Nevertheless, the combat vehicles were the first to be destroyed, as they were a priority target for Ukrainian defenders and were carrying troops. As the combat vehicles were destroyed near a forest belt, enemy infantry started seeking cover between bare trees, allowing external pilots to engage the drones with their drops. Due to the absence of leaves on the trees, the drones with a thermal imaging channel effectively detected the enemy, significantly increasing the drop's accuracy. Artillery also contributed to the destruction of enemy manpower. According to the unit's estimates, the enemy lost 3 BMP-3s and 19 servicemen. Militarny previously reported that dozens of Russians were ambushed and eliminated by the Ukrainian military in the Kharkiv region. The ambush operation was carried out by only 2 assault groups of fighters from the 3rd Manticore Platoon and the 2nd Decepticons Platoon. The commander of the 2nd Company of the 2nd Assault Battalion of the 3rd Brigade, with the call sign Datsik, released a video capturing 18 bodies of the invaders. He also reported that there are 21 more invaders' bodies around the perimeter of the forest line. The Russian military has faced catastrophic losses in the Kharkiv region during recent offensives. In an operation that deployed over 10,000 troops, nearly 3,000 Russian soldiers were killed, and more than 6,500 were wounded within 2 months. Units like the 138th Motorized Rifle Brigade and the 83rd Air Assault Brigade suffered particularly heavy casualties, with some losing up to 90% of their strength. Ukrainian forces used precise artillery, drones, and defensive barriers to repel the Russian advances, with many assaults resulting in devastating losses for the attackers. Despite significant reinforcements and regrouping efforts, Russian attempts to gain ground have been met with strong resistance, including from NATO-equipped artillery brigades and specialized drone teams. Ukrainian commanders have noted that these losses are seriously disrupting Russian operational capabilities, even as Moscow continues to deploy reserves to sustain its campaign. New video from the Mudabor nightclub in Moscow during the raids by the Kremlin regime on Friday night to collect cannon fodder. Hundreds of men were taken away. All women were released, negating the official but false pretext of LGBT propaganda law violations. The recent reports indicate that Russian authorities have intensified conscription efforts, targeting nightclubs and other public venues to find individuals eligible for military service. Raids have been conducted in cities such as Moscow, St. Petersburg, and regional urban centers. Recruiters focus on young men, sometimes intercepting them at entertainment spots or even on the streets late at night. This aggressive approach is part of Russia's attempts to replenish its ranks amid ongoing challenges in Ukraine, where the military has faced substantial losses. Witnesses describe the raids as sudden and forceful, often leaving little room for those detained to contest their recruitment status. The controversial nature of these actions has sparked fear and frustration among the population, with some comparing the raids to historical conscription practices from authoritarian eras. And for the end, let's see some humor. Kim Jong-un revealing his revolutionary technology to his people. The unveiling of the Metal Bird 9000. This is a part of Russian coalition against the free world. In North Korea, Kim Jong-un's cult of personality is one of the most pervasive in history. This system enforces unwavering adoration for the leader through strict societal controls. Citizens are expected to applaud and show enthusiastic attention whenever Kim appears in public, with applause often choreographed and prolonged. Failing to participate in such displays can lead to severe consequences, as loyalty to the leader is considered paramount. Propaganda glorifies Kim as a near-divine figure, attributing the nation's achievements to his wisdom and leadership. The state-controlled media ensures no dissenting voices are heard, creating an environment where skepticism is dangerous. Public events like mass games and parades often feature orchestrated displays of devotion to solidify this image. This pervasive system of control extends to everyday life, where even minor infractions, like mishandling images of the leader, can result in punishment.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.